Good morning. It's your girl MJ. Came by here to let me show you. See if I can show it to you. So I'm off this week, and I came out here to the reservoir. I'm out here a lot to clear my mind, and I wanted to take this opportunity to just share some information with y'all. So I'm a 40-year-old mom, and I am a woman who is a believer in God. I love my family. Um, and I believe that my information can help somebody. Okay. So my content that I'm putting out is pretty much aimed to single women, younger single women. And the reason why I put emphasis on younger because I'm sharing my story, my life story, in hope that it could help somebody else. Especially those younger women who have children. Um, there are so many times where I was in positions where I wish somebody would have shared information with me. And my mother, her and my father was married for over 26 years. Um, so things were different. My mama, she she didn't have her kids out of wedlock. I did. Both of my children, both of my kids are by two different men. Um, and to be honest, y'all, to be totally honest with you, I wish I would have listened to my mama. I wish I would have did like my mama. As a matter of fact, I told her that this morning. I wish I would have waited until I got married before I had children. But that's not the end of the day. I love my kids. I would do absolutely anything for my two children. Um, but just life, period. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. So let me say this. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a counselor. I'm not any of the above. I am simply somebody who is sharing her story and offering this advice to, I say, my younger self. Um, if you are in your 20s, have kids, and you're not necessarily married, and you're just trying to figure out life, um, this is for you. So I hope this advice helps somebody. So there's only three things that I really want to talk about today, and that is spirituality. That is um, your mental state. I don't know where that came from or how that just did that, but okay. Your mental state, and I want to touch a little bit on being a mother. Those three things. So first and foremost, I think it's very important for a young woman, a young single woman with children, to uh, find you a church home. I think it's important. First and foremost, have a relationship with God. You know, like I'm gonna tell you my story. I remember the day I I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. It was March 15th, 2015. Um, I went to church that day, and I do like I do every Sunday when I go get out of church. I go home and I take a nap, then I reconvene. So because our services they start early. Like we go to church at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So, but I'm grateful for that because we get to, go have the whole day for ourselves. So if you want to go to church with me one Sunday, let me know. Let me know in the comments, and you're more than welcome to come. So I think it's first and foremost to find you a church home. get a relationship with God. Okay, he'll lead you. I'm serious. Um, it happened on a Sunday. I came home and I took a nap, and God came to me in a dream, and it was like this big massive mirror was before me, and God was basically it showed me all of my imperfections. It showed me everything that I was dealing with, the lust and all of that stuff. And God came to me and he said, I can help you with this, and I accepted. So he came to me and he said that it was like, I can help you with this, I can take this away from you, and I accepted. I said, Lord, I accept you as my Lord and my Savior, Jesus Christ. And I did. And so from that moment, let me tell you what happened. Your conviction doesn't come at the same time as just the sanctification process. I'm being real. So when you're convicted, once you're converted into a Christian, what happens is God starts to take things away from you. You know what I'm saying? But know this, Satan is always going to do his job. Okay? He's always going to do his job. So in that moment, during that time, God starts to remove things from me. I lost my apartment. I lost my vehicle. I was pretty much, y'all, it got to the point where I lost everything. It even got to the point where, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I was sleeping on my mama's floor. Me and my two kids slept on my mama's floor for a year. But we'll get to that later. That was a very humbling experience. Uh, so anyway, getting back to how God dealt with me, He started to take things away from me, and things that I had access to in the past, I no longer had access to. Uh, I had nowhere to do those things. So it forced me and put me in a place where, okay, you even play with this. And so over the course of the years, God he's still working on me. He's still grooming me. And I'm so grateful for that. So I think it's very important for you to have a relationship with God. Find you a good church home, because in life gets hard. Baby, you're not going to have all the answers. You need somebody you can trust. You need to be around people who support you, who love you. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes those people aren't necessarily your family. Sometimes family members can be jealous of you. Sometimes, people who you thought had your back can be your worst enemies. And that's why I think God, a relationship with God, will prevent a lot of mistakes from happening. So just think about it. Find your church home. If you need one, come talk to me. Okay. So the next thing is emotionally. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of times we can do a lot of damage to ourselves and we don't even realize it. Okay, so I dated this guy in college. In high school, I was a dork. I was afraid of sex. I was such a wimp. I didn't go to prom. I didn't do nothing because I was scared. I was scared. I was taught that boys were just bad, and I wasn't good with relationships. Only thing I was good at was knowing what I wanted, right? And if I can have what I want to understand why I can have it. But that wasn't necessarily towards me, because I had got to the point where in high school, I mean, I was so goofy. That was the last thing on my mind was a boyfriend. But when I got in college, some woke up, I guess, because I was getting older. I was still sheltered. I was still quiet and shy. But I met this guy. I thought he was absolutely adorable, and I did not call no names. I did not call no names. But he was I remember the first time I saw him, we took a class together, and we were actually dressed alike. We had a rally blue button down shirt on with some gray slacks. Well, of course, mine was the feminine version. Him was the man version or whatever. But I was like, oh my gosh, he is adorable. I was like, he was really really cute. And so I got real creative, and I didn't say anything to him that semester. But the next semester, I was like, okay, we take another class together. I gotta find a way to get this man attention. So I intentionally skipped class the day that one of the days that I knew we was gonna take a class. And so I saw him. I was like, hey, I said, let me give you my number. I'm not gonna make class today. I got a doctor's appointment, so call me and let me know what the assignments was. He didn't call me. He did not call me. And so the next time I saw him, I was like, why you didn't call me? I thought I sent you to call me. He was like, man, I forgot and I lost your number. You didn't lose my number. You know you had my number. But anyway, we ended up becoming friends, and we were friends for about 2 or 3 years uh, before we actually started dating. Um, we ended up dating, and he was the apple of my eye, and I truthfully I was I was much more into him than he was into me, but we grew on each other. And let this be a lesson. You know, I'm not finna sit here and say don't go for what you want, because I did. But once I got what I want, I didn't know how to deal with it because I was still spoiled, and I was selfish, and I was self-centered, and I was conceited. Mind you, I'm 18 years old. So we end up he ended up doing an intern outside of Mississippi, and he really wanted me to be a part of that. And I was like, nah, man, I can't leave my mama. At that time, my mom had just retired. You know, her and my dad was divorced, and I wanted to help her financially. So I was offered a full. I was like 19 or 20. I think I was 19. I was offered a full-time position at where I was a student worker at. So I was like, help my mama or go move to where he is. So I stayed. So he ended up finding somebody else, and now it broke me. It broke me. Um, because I found out, the way I found out is he posted a picture. He changed his profile picture. That was when Facebook was becoming a thing. So he posted a picture of him and his new girlfriend on my birthday. Changed his profile picture to him and her picture. I'll never forget that. I was like, oh my God. But it's cool though. So in that lesson, I'm going to tell you what I learned. Y'all, when a man leaves, let him go. And I know that's easier said than done, but baby, let him go. Because even if you get him back, even if it's against his will and he really don't want to, and he's just coming back because you're begging him or whatever, don't do it. He will use that and he will hold it over your head. That was when I saw that let me know that it was completely over, and I moved on with my life. And there's a saying that once you lose one man, get up on another one to get over the other one. Don't believe that either. Don't believe that either. Please don't. Because here's why. Okay, so this is the last one. I ended up dating this guy, and I did not call no names. And let me say this, ladies. I wish I would have listened to my mom. I wish I would have followed my mom's footsteps. Once you lay with a man, if you're not 100% that that man is wanting you to be his wife, hell, even then I wouldn't lay with him. I would have stayed celibate until I got married, because soul ties are real. Soul ties are so real. And unless you're ready for the emotional damage that comes along with soul ties, baby, don't do it. Don't do it. There was times where I was with this new guy who I was dating. There were times where I could hear God's voice telling me to leave, telling me to stop, and I wouldn't. Um, Let me tell you this: sin will always take you further than you want to go. Sin, it can start off real small, but it expands. You're always going to go deeper in sin than you intended to go. Listen to me. Allow me to be your sounding board in this. There are so many things that I wish I would have took heed to and listened to in dealing with the type of men that I was dealing with. The soul ties, the emotional damage that came along with just doing things haphazardly and doing things anyway and not doing things God's way is detrimental. It's diabolical. It's through the grace of God that I still have my life. So I'm going to stop here because I know this is getting a lot. Y'all,